For those of you who don't know, I'm a historian more than anything else. That is literally true. My PhD is in history. I was trained as a historian. And one of the sort of really crucial and important points that you should try to learn in grad school, and you should learn throughout your life, but certainly as a historian, is that almost every historical event, with really like only very few exceptions, are neither good nor bad. They're shades of gray. You can look at them from multiple different perspectives. Obviously, slavery, bad. Holocaust, bad. But really, other than things that are of that highest, most extreme level of evil, there is shades of gray. You can look at things from multiple perspectives. This ability to hold in your head multiple truths simultaneously is hard. It takes not only skill and practice and learning how to do it, but you have to want to do it. Most people can hold multiple truths. A lot of us don't want to do that all the time because it's hard, or we like how we feel. We don't want to internalize anything that might contradict that. This week we read Parashat Shoftim, which means judges. As you might suspect, this Parashat deals a lot with sort of the idea, the concept of justice and what justice looks like in Judaism. It, again, deals with issues of good and bad and how we all and all actions fall somewhere in between. There's lots of parts of this that talk about, well, if you are swinging an axe and the axe handle breaks off and the axe head accidentally strikes and kills somebody, what is the level of guilt that you incur, that your family incurs, that your town incurs? Are you as guilty as if you deliberately throw the axe at somebody? How can you get rid of that transgression? And just to be clear, the Torah says, no, you're not nearly as guilty, because clearly you're swinging an axe. Unless you were negligent and loosened it all the way deliberately, it was an accident. There's ways to make, was that? It's an accident, yes. There's a lot of my passages here that I really like that sort of also speak to this idea of the gray areas. It talks about how a commander of an army, as they stand on the edge of the battlefield and look over at the enemy, commander asks, is there anyone here who has planted a vineyard but has never harvested it? Let him go back to his home, lest he die in battle, and another harvest it. So if you haven't picked the grapes from the vineyard you've planted, you're excused from battle. You're also excused from battle if you have built a house but have not yet lived in it. You are excused from battle if you are scared. All of these things are right there. It also talks about how it's not just one witness needed to convict somebody. You need at least two witnesses. And we've known already there's lots of violence in the Torah. We see it this week. We see it pretty much every single week. But as we have moved now from Bereshit through Egypt, through the desert, we're now standing on the precipice of the Israelites entering the promised land. The black and white has become increasingly gray. Yes, the Israelites are still going to have to kill a lot of people. But there are growing numbers of ways in which that murder, that death, that violence can be forced off, can be pushed off. Does not need to be quite as destructive. Doesn't mean we have to agree with everything the Torah says. The Torah, to me, is meant to be a book of lessons that we can take from what we like, and we can leave aside some of the morality that perhaps does not align with 2025. Slavery is one of those things that maybe we should leave back in the time of the Tanakh, even though there is a part of this Torah portion that says if you're letting a slave go and he really, really loves you, well, you can just keep him. Not awesome. As we go into this next week and enter this year of sort of repentance, we're the final month of the Hebrew year. Rosh Hashanah is now only 24 days away. I want us to start getting to this mindset of gray areas, of lessons that we can learn, of ways in which we can improve, while knowing that this idea of perfection is always, always going to elude us. Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.